Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rich Bradley, President of the Board of Public Service. This is the regular meeting of the Board of Public Service for Tuesday, March 7th, 2023. This is a public meeting and there are no lettings today, but we do have one hearing which we will handle before we do our regular business meeting. Hearing number 8272 is being conducted pursuant to Chapter 8.97 of the revised code of the city of St. Louis. The applicant, Ahmed Aldarat, DBA Tattoos by Ahmed, is proposing to operate a tattoo parlor at 3126 Watson Road. Due to the nature of the business, the applicant is required to hold a license issued by this board pursuant to the guidelines of Chapter 8.97 of the revised code of the city of St. Louis. Procedural history. September 13th, 2022, a certificate of conditional use permit numbered as 131183 issued to Ahmed Aldarat to occupy 3126 Watson Road as a tattoo studio with conditions. January 27th, 2023, a certificate of occupancy and zoning numbered OP-52-23 issued to Oasis Studio DBA Ahmed Aldarat for the use of 3126 Watson Road as a tattoo studio with no retail sales or piercings. January 30th, 2023, the applicant submits to BPS a completed BPS tattoo parlor license application number 131191 for 6 chairs for the proposed premise at 3126 Watson Road. February 8th, 2023, a letter from the Health Commissioner Anwari to BPS finding no evidence of health code violations at the facility at 3126 Watson Road and recommends the issuance of a BPS license for a tattoo parlor. March 4th, 2023, emails from friends and neighbors of the applicant, Steve and Catherine Albers, expressing their support for the opening of the tattoo parlor. As outlined in section 8.97.070 of the revised code of the city of St. Louis, the Board of Public Service may approve such application after a hearing if it is satisfied that the applicant is of good moral character and that the applicant has given evidence that he will be able to operate the premise in compliance with all regulations and laws governing such premise, and the applicant is a resident of the state and his neighborhood consent petition is in due form, and the applicant's premise are not within 500 feet of an elementary school. The Board of Public Service has in its possession and therefore admitted into evidence the following documents. Item number 1, a certified copy of Chapter 8.97 of the revised code of the city of St. Louis. Item 2, the applicant's file with the Office of Secretary, Board of Public Service, which includes but is not limited to A, the above referenced license application with the drawing of the proposed premise, and B, public notices that were published and posted for today's hearing. Item 3, a copy of the certificate of occupancy and zoning issued for 3126 Watson Road to be occupied as a tattoo studio with no retail sales or piercings. Item 4, a letter from the Health Commissioner, Victoria Anwari, stating that the community sanitation staff inspected the facility at 3126 Watson Road and found no evidence of health code violations. The issuance of a license for a tattoo establishment was recommended. Item 5, certificate of conditional use permit numbered as 131183 issued to Ahmed Aldarat to occupy 3126 Watson Road as a tattoo studio with conditions. Item 6, emails from friends and neighbors of the applicant Steve and Catherine Albers expressing their support for the opening of the tattoo parlor. Item 7, copies of letters dated February 15th, 2023, sent from the Secretary of the Board notifying DBA Oasis Studio, CO Ahmed Aldarat, and Minerva Properties, LLC, CO Robert Devereaux, and Tattoos by Ahmed LLC, CEO Ahmed Aldarat of this hearing. The board will swear in and hear from the applicant and those in support of the applicant's proposed use. The board will then allow those in opposition of the tattoo parlor to address the board. After each side has had an opportunity to speak, the board will then allow for rebuttal. At this time, the board asks the applicant to please come forward and be sworn in. Mr. Aldarat, if you could please take yourself off mute. Raise your right hand. The secretary will swear you in.
The testimony that you're about to give, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Please state your name for the board, please.
Ahmed Eldarat.
Okay, thank you. You can put your hand down. I have a series of questions that I will ask you. If you would just answer those, please. Question number one, are you a resident of the state of Missouri?
Yes, sir.
Okay, number two, the state of Missouri requires that tattoo establishments be issued a license from the director of the Division of Professional Registration of the state of Missouri. Do you have a license for this proposed tattoo establishment issued by the director of the Division of Professional Registration?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Number three, how many tattoo chairs are being applied for?
6.
And are you aware that any increase in the number of tattoo chairs must be applied for with this board?
Yes, sir.
How many employees will you have at this establishment?
Well, up to 6, but right now just 1.
Okay. And are you aware that all tattoo artists must have their Missouri state licensure?
Yes, sir.
And will you be able to comply with all provisions of chapter 8.97 of the revised code of the city of St. Louis, specifically as follows? And I will list each of these 4 and ask you to respond after. So A, do you understand that you as the operator of a tattoo parlor are at all times responsible for the orderly conduct of the establishment and in the acts of your agents, servants, or employees in the operation of the same?
Yes, sir.
B, do you understand that tattoo establishments may only be open between 9 a.m. and 1 a.m.?
Yes.
And what are your proposed hours?
9 a.m. to, I believe it was 8 p.m., but up to 1.
Okay. Do you understand that tattoo parlors shall be kept clean and well lighted so that the rear of the premise is plainly visible from the front of the premise?
Yes, sir.
And will you be able to comply and maintain this tattoo parlor in this manner?
Definitely.
Okay, and finally, do you understand that no tattoo parlor shall allow or permit loud noises, boisterous or disorderly conduct in or around the premise or on the grounds of such premise, and the operator shall prevent the loitering of persons on the premise or around the premise of the tattoo parlor?
I do. Yes, sir.
And will you be able to comply with all of these regulations?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, and so that's the end of the formal questioning. Is there anything that you would like to state for the board?
Just that I've been in good standing and been tattooing in the St. Louis area for almost 20 years. And I know how to manage a place and I know how to keep it clean. And we're running a private studio, so it's going to be pretty low key.
Okay, great. So at this time, what I'd like to do is open the floor up for any questions from any of our board directors. Okay. Any questions from any of our directors or council? Seeing none, thank you very much for your time, sir. You can mute yourself again. At this time, if there's anyone else in favor of this applicant or proposed establishment that wishes to testify, please come forward and be sworn in. Okay, I'm not seeing anyone else who wishes to testify in support. If you're there, please get my attention, raise your hand or call out. Okay, let the record reflect that there is no one else present to testify today in favor of the establishment or the applicant. Now, if there's anyone opposed to the applicant or the proposed establishment that wishes to testify, please come forward and be sworn in. Okay, again, I'm not seeing anyone in the chat or on the screen. If you're there and I'm not seeing you, please get my attention, raise your hand. Okay, let the record reflect that there's also no one present today in opposition to the applicant or the establishment that wishes to testify. The matter concerning hearing number 8272 is now closed and submitted. The board will deliberate the matter following the remaining agenda items. At this time, I will ask the secretary to please call the roll.
Director Coyle, Director Davis,
Present.
Coyle is here.
thank you. Director Hayes is excused. Director Scoggin,
Present.
Director Scobie,
Present.
Director Williams,
Present.
President Bradley.
Present, we have a quorum. I will call this meeting to order.
Regular business. From the president, recommendation that approval be given as follows. Amendment number 2 to contract number 77255 for building custodial service with White Maintenance Service. This amendment hereby adds 3 months to the contract, which expires on February the 28th, 2023, extending it from March 1st, 2023 to May 31st, 2023, with an option to extend the contract an additional month to June 30th, 2023, subject to mutual consent of both parties. Emergency work orders issued for the month of September 2022 by the Department of President and the Facility Maintenance Division, Board of Public Service for emergency work and repairs requiring prompt attention. From the Director of Streets, recommendation that the following be approved, subject to certain conditions. Application number 131438, request from Ameren, Missouri to connect a router to the existing street light utility pole at the southeast corner of the intersection of South 9th Street and Arsenal Street as part of Ameren Advanced Meeting Initiative, AMI project. Application number 131439, request from Mark Breton Cotter to encroach with blocks along the front of the building at 2001 Olive Street to prevent vehicles from crashing into the building. Application number 131463, request from 2901 Selena LLC, DBA Benton Park Cafe to encroach with tables and chairs for a sidewalk cafe utilizing 945 square feet with liquor at 2901 Selena Street. Recommendation that the following be filed. Application number 131440, request from William Lieberman to encroach with blocks around the perimeter of the building at 3420 Iowa. The blocks will be on private property and not in the right of way, so a VPS permit is not needed. From the Directors of Utilities, Public Utilities and Streets, joint recommendation that the following be approved, subject to certain conditions. Request from MSD, Project 11847, Black Creek crosses the City of St. Louis Water Department right-of-way in the County of St. Louis. The permitted work is for a 24-inch diameter relief sewer that crosses two City of St. Louis 60-inch water mains located at 1 McKnight Place. Joint recommendation that one application from Verizon be approved, subject to certain conditions. Application number CM23-00012 for 4101 Lafayette Avenue. We have 4 conditional use permits from the Director of Public Safety.
Okay, is there anyone here from Public Safety to do the conditional uses? Okay, seeing none, Michelle, would you just go ahead and read the recommendation for the 4 conditional uses?
Sure. Recommendation that one conditional use permit be approved with no conditions. 718 North Grand Boulevard. Recommendation that 3 conditional use permits be approved, subject to certain conditions. 4158 Russell Boulevard, first floor, 3934 South Grand Boulevard, and 5547 South Grand Boulevard.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any questions or comments on today's conditional uses? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve as presented.
Motion to approve, Williams.
Second, Scobie.
Thank you, directors. Can you call the roll, please?
Here, Director Coyle,
Aye.
Director Davis,
Aye.
Director Hayes is excused, Director Scoggin,
Aye.
Director Scobie,
Aye.
Director Williams,
Aye.
President Bradley.
Aye, today's conditional uses are approved. Hearing number 8272, Tattoos by Ahmed. Tattoo establishment with 6 chairs, 3126 Watson Road. We heard testimony from Mr. Alderat that he would comply with all sections of chapter 8.97 of the revised code. He will have up to six tattoo artists, and they will all have their Missouri state licensure, as well as complying with, again, all the individual requirements of chapter 8.97. And it is recommended by the Commissioner of Health that we approve this establishment. And so there also mentioned there was no one to testify in favor of the establishment or the applicant, and no one to testify in opposition to the applicant or the establishment. So with that brief history, I'll open the floor up for any discussion. Seeing no discussion, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second Coyle.
Thank you, directors. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Coyle,
Aye.
Director Davis,
Aye.
Director Hayes is excused, Director Scoggin,
Aye.
Director Scobie,
Aye.
Director Williams.
Aye.
President Bradley.
Aye, hearing number 8272 is approved. I'd like to turn your attention to our meeting minutes from last Tuesday, February 28th, 2023. Are there any questions or comments on the meeting minutes as presented? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve, please.
So moved, Scobie.
Second, Scoggin.
Thank you, directors. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Coyle,
Aye.
Director Davis,
Aye.
Director Hayes is excused, Director Scoggin,
Aye.
Director Scobie,
Aye.
Director Williams,
Aye.
President Bradley.
Aye, the minutes are approved. Today's agenda, are there any questions or comments on today's BPS meeting agenda? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve, please.
Motion to approve, Williams.
Second Coyle.
Thank you, directors. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Coyle,
Aye.
Director Davis,
Aye.
Director Hayes is excused, Director Scoggin,
Aye.
Director Scobie,
Aye.
Director Williams,
Aye.
President Bradley.
Aye, today's meeting agenda is approved. Before we adjourn, I always open the floor for any comments. Just a couple things I'd like to recognize. Will Willis, who is our board counsel, notified me that he will be a short timer with us. Will be leaving city service. So we want to make sure we take the opportunity to thank Will for the outstanding job he's done for the city councilor, and also congratulate him. He's most recently married. So I think all at one, he's doing everything at once. So Will, thank you for your service. Any words for the board?
I guess really what I have to say is thank you guys for making this a learning experience for the last couple of years. I've gained a lot of knowledge through this, and I'm pretty sure this won't be the last that you guys see of me. So I'm looking forward to keeping in contact with you guys. Thank you.
Great, thank you. And we certainly wish you the best endeavors on your new business and certainly on your marriage. So with that, are there any further comments from any of our board members? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn, please.
I'll make a motion
So
to Jan
moved.
Coyle.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second, Scoggin.
Thank you. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned.
Aye.
Thank you all. Have a nice afternoon.
Thank you.
Have a good one.